Hi Scorpio, welcome to your April 2021 Love and General reading. I'm Gemstone Tarot. Welcome back to subscribers, and also if you're new, welcome to the channel. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and it's also if you're cross-watching or you just came here by chance. Okay, there'll be a message for you. There is an extended reading and the link will be in the description box. So if this resonates with you, you can go on to the extended and take a deeper dive. We look at how they feel about you. We do some channeling, we pull different decks, we get our hands dirty and we make a bit of a tarot mess. What do we need to know for Scorpio for April? Can't believe it's this far into 2021 already. Okay. Ooh, Scorpio. You want to know if something is for real. Just going to move those. Wow. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Wands. So you're feeling very defended, okay? You're feeling defended. You're maybe feeling defensive. Scorpio, you know you can be defensive, but very often, if a Scorpio's being defensive, you are a water sign, so the chances are that you have intuited a reason for that, okay? You're not just doing it for fun. There's a lot of cup cards here. There's a lot of emotion knocking around this reading. And there's a big need to separate what is real from what is fantasy, and maybe what is real from what is, you know, just not actually the truth. In other words, sorting out what's true and what isn't, okay? At the bottom of your reading, you've got this devil energy. Now the devil, it does represent Capricorn. I'm not too big on that particularly, actually. I can see the references, but it doesn't really resonate with me. When you get the devil, what does resonate with me is attachment. You can see on this card that the devil is attached to these people, and these people are kind of attached to each other. And it doesn't feel like a nice, snuggly kind of attachment. You know, it feels like being tied. It feels like you can't quite work out if you want to be in a situation or not. When you get that devil card as well, there is a very, what I would say, carnal and rooty kind of feeling about it. It represents for me the base chakra, okay? And the base chakra is also all about survival. It's coloured red, it's down kind of in the seat of the person, at the bottom of the person. It's what you may have done to survive. So for some of you, and this can happen with Scorpio, in fact it can happen, I've noticed, with water signs. Some of you may have experienced difficult things in your childhood. You may have experienced a lack of choice, but also somebody being domineering where they didn't need to be, okay? Sometimes this can create a defensiveness, a wall of defense, which was very necessary at the time because of surviving. You know, when you need to survive in an atmosphere where you don't have power, you will create something to give you power, or to, I mean, even if that is to detach yourself from what's going on, that is a survival instinct. It's a survival mechanism. Some of you are in a situation or are coming into a situation where something is causing you to feel like you need to fall back on survival mechanisms. It's quite deep, you know, it's It's not just one thing. And it isn't just a shallow thing either. This is something that's really making you think. It's making you feel, and I would say in the kind of modern way, it's triggering you, okay? It's causing you to feel triggered. So whether this, this is a general reading. So for you, it could be in terms of a relationship. It could be in terms of where you work, or it could, of course, be family and destiny. But either way, there is some kind of power struggle here, which is very deep. It's not a kind of power struggle about who called who first or who's going to make the first move or whatever. It's a power struggle that takes you back to a time when you had no choice about something. And it feels, Scorpio, like you don't want to go back there. And I can understand that completely. I'm just going to take a Chuck Spezzano healing card for you. What do we need to know? Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take 3. We're having a triangle. Oh, they're arguing a bit. Okay, I'm going to have both. Conflict is a big thing for you, okay? But out of conflict comes something good, as is often the case. Right, Scorpio, I told you this was deep. Now, thank God you're a Scorpio, because I'm a water sign too, but I'm a Pisces and we're a bit avoidant. Scorpios tend to really sink to the bottom of the well. It's like they're not afraid to get their emotional hands dirty or to look at the really dark stuff, okay? You get the unconscious, the ancestral problem. Here is a conveyor belt of people bringing baggage down from I think it's, well, it doesn't matter if it's an aeroplane or not, but it just feels like they arrive and then they pass it on and then you receive it. This is what you've received from ancestors. It could be past lives. I don't tend to get into what it is. It's just what's coming through, okay? It's coming through that you are shouldering other people's burdens. Now, that may be literally, so let's say at work you may be doing other people's work that you shouldn't be doing, and it's triggering you into a time when you were overlooked, when you were younger, okay? When you didn't have a choice, you didn't have a voice, and you didn't have a say. That's what I mean about how it could seem like something fairly trivial and everyday, but it triggers something in the down there's, in the upside down, as they say in Stranger Things. Okay. Then we have the unconscious of other lives. And again, we have lots of people in old-fashioned clothing here and other people surrendering to the unconscious of their ancestors. This is big, okay? Now, some of you, and I will confess, Scorpio, because you've got to confess to a Scorpio, they can always see right through you. I don't know much about constellation work and ancestral work, but it's been coming up in conversations that I've been having with people, along with shamanism and journeying. And again, I don't know much about that either, but if you do, I'm flagging this up for you, okay? That's all I do when this comes up, because I don't have the knowledge to do any more. But I don't need to. I'm holding the door open for you. If you want to walk through it and work some of this stuff out, you're in good timing. You're in good company as well, is the message that I'm getting. That's weird. That's a channeled message. You're in good company from the universe, okay? The universe wants you to break free. You get the Grace card of joy. I love this card. This, Scorpio, is who you really are. This is who you really are, okay? Before you got trampled, before the conflict, before the moves you made to survive. This is who you are, and it's expansive and it's beautiful and it's lovable, okay? I love it. Now this one fell out as well. And it's again another card of someone struggling with a burden. It is the victim card of guilt. You are carrying other people's guilt. It's ancestral. It's like a guilt line, but it ties you to somebody or something. Now, it could be in terms of relationships. If you are in a relationship with somebody that you don't know whether you should stay or go, because that did come to me right at the beginning of the reading. Should I stay or should I go? Or if it's a job that you're in, or an apartment or a situation or a friendship or whatever. In order to be able to know whether you are making a decision of your own, you need to be emotionally free, okay? Free of this baggage. So, what else do we get for you? The Hermit. The Hermit represents Virgo, if we're doing it astrologically, but again, more importantly, the Hermit closes himself off from temptation, distraction, but most importantly, because like hermits, you know, they wear a sackcloth and they go into a cave, and you know, it sounds pretty rum to me. Sounds a bit lonely. I'm not anyone who can even go camping, so I wouldn't be good at it. But the thing that's going on with hermits, the reason why they don't have relationships in the cave and they don't have nice food in the cave, you know, and they don't have particularly comfortable clothes or anything, is because these are all forms of attachment. Hermits are not getting into being attached to anything. And in that way, they are getting the wisdom and what they need to know. They're finding out what they need to know through not attaching. You in April are going through a period of this, so you could literally be separating yourself from others a bit, feeling private, feeling like you need to work some of this stuff out privately, maybe with a therapist, maybe in the ways that you've worked out for yourself and the resources that you've got. If this is about a job or a relationship, I mean, everyone's in a weird situation with working from home or not working from home or whatever is going on. There's a sense in which you feel separate to the group, but actually it could be beneficial for now to be separate to the group in some way, because you are separate to that group. You may not be among your people. These people might not be your tribe. And I think you're feeling this and you're torn in two different directions. So under the Hermit, we've got the Chariot, Cancerian energy. So you could be dealing with a Cancerian. The two horses are going in two different directions at once, Scorpio. One wants to go this way, one wants to go that way. Sometimes with this, and just for a few of you, it is this. That Devil card is that you may have a chemical, sensual attachment to somebody, but you may not like them very much, or you may not like the way they treat you, or you may not know if they're good enough for you, okay? So you are torn in two different directions about it. You've got the carnal desire and you've got the sense of well-being and needing to be free and needing to be healthy about something. And what I'm getting with this as well is that attached connections for you can be toxic, and there may have been attached connections that were toxic in the past, and you might just be sort of getting a whiff of that and not liking what you smell, okay? And when I say this about smelling as well, this is quite important. Sometimes, especially if we've had a lot of survival mode and trauma, we're cut off from being able to genuinely feel what we want to feel. And there's something about seeing, feeling, touching, smelling and tasting for you which could be really grounding and get you back into yourself properly, okay? You may feel you'd lost yourself along the way in a relationship or in a job or with a person. And now is the process of finding out who you really are so that you can take the appropriate action. Seven of Cups. When you get the Seven of Cups, there is an element of fantasy about it. Aphrodite, the goddess of love here, is pointing to all these cups And this is Psyche, who's praying that her lover will come back. And Aphrodite is pointing to what effectively amounts to castles in the sky. It's like, you could have this and that. And you can, you know, this can be future talking from somebody, or somebody who texts a lot but you never see them, or somebody who talks the talk but they never walk the walk. And there's some kind of disparity between the two, okay? And then next to the Seven of Cups is the Eight of Cups. When you get the Eight of Cups, there is a need. It's an 8, okay? 8s are dynamic. They're still alive in tarot. When you get the Eight of Cups, there are 8 cups, and there's always a person, and again, it's a bit like the Hermit, taking a walk somewhere that looks cold, uncomfortable, and frankly quite uninviting if you were wearing a nightie, okay? And yet, she still goes. The Eight of Cups is separating yourself from something that still has a hold on you, separating yourself from someone that you love. And if this is about a relationship, it could be that that's what it actually needs at the moment. For your sake, you know, not thinking just of the other person, but for your sake. And for some of you, it doesn't need to be a permanent ending to it, but there does need to be a reset, okay? And this can be for a job as well. Obviously, the decision is yours. You're a Scorpio, though. I don't need to tell you that. But you need to make peace with it, okay? Four of Swords. Now, interestingly, we also have this Four of Cups, moving to emotional neutral. The Four of Cups is what happens to you before you reach the 8 when you do something about it. On the side of the reading, we've got the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is a love offer. It's someone coming forward. It's small when it's Page of Cups. It's small apologies. It's small steps. You may feel like making some kind of small communication to someone, or they may feel like making it to you. This could also be, you know, with family or whoever your ancestral stuff is with. I don't know if you know what to make of that yet. Page of Cups is a tricky one because it's in its infancy and they haven't made it to be the Knight or the King. You may not know until you spend some time like in hermit mode. This is something you're going to need to, you're going to have conflict over, you're going to be torn about, but at the same time, the stronger you become in your own identity this month, and I think this has been like a year or years in the making, this is nothing new, the better it's going to be for you, Scorpio, okay? In the extended reading, I'm going to look at should I stay or should I go for this Eight of Cups. But I'm also going to look at what's going on in the background with this Devil card and just riff around work and relationship, okay, with a specific person. Because for some of you, there is something about a specific person here that is, it's difficult to work out, okay? So I'm going to have a dig. I'll just get you an oracle card. So if this resonates with you, Scorpio, we're going to go and dig in the extended, and the link will be in the description box of the video. It's that one. Oh, this card. Yeah. Message in a bottle. It's very specific, this oracle card. I know what it means, and it's to do with that Page of Cups. It is a communication of sorts. When someone puts a message in a bottle, they don't even know if it's really going to reach that person, because they're not happy, but they feel like keeping it random, okay? So they stick a message literally in a bottle and then throw that bottle in the sea and kind of hope that fate takes it to the person. There's some element of fate here which you can't control, and you might want to control, but you can't. And there's also an element of either you wanting to get a message to somebody or somebody wanting to get a message to you. And it does change things a bit. It does affect things a bit. And it is a bit left field. It's a bit roundabout. It's not straightforward, okay? And that part of it you can't control. But I feel like this is what's going to come out in April in terms of the Chariot and the conflict and the Hermit. Because when you do get this communication message, whatever it is, you are going to feel conflicted. Yeah. Meditation, again, going into hermit mode, someone sitting on their own on a rock, okay? But also truth and integrity. This month you find out what yours is. You're not even so much focusing on theirs, you're focusing on your own, and in turn, as soon as you really get to do that and dump this ancestral baggage and guilt feeling, then you find out the truth anyway. Serenity. Accepting what I can't change and letting things bloom where they are, okay? There's a lot here for you, Scorpio, but there's also a lot of inner work that is going on. This is part of the life project that is you, and it's a very important month for it, okay? Scorpio, I'm going to go straight into your extended. Do leave me a comment, let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.